I was boxing and I took my gloves off, handed them to my trainer, and he goes, I think we need to give those gloves a good wash. Your hands are orange. I was like, yeah, gross, definitely. Lies. The gloves are fine. It's me. I'm orange. Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name's Megan and here is where we talk all things travel, mainly tips and hacks, but today I'm going to be going through some lesser known travel mistakes that I've made that hopefully you won't make. Number 1, not getting a SIM card and a data plan for your phone. If you're from Canada or the US, you know that data plans can be ridiculously expensive. But this is not the case for most of the rest of the world. If you go to Asia, you can get unlimited 4G coverage for around $20 a month. This is going to save you time, stress, and money because you'll be able to access things like Google Translate, Google Maps, you'll be able to call a Grab, check exchange rates, or have a quick look on TripAdvisor to know which restaurants aren't going to make you sick. You'll also be able to stay connected with messenger apps like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger while you're out and about, which is great for your own personal safety. Another reason to get a SIM card and have your phone connected to data is because you can use the iPhone feature, Find My iPhone. This is an iPhone feature, but you can get something similar with an app for an Android phone, and what it does is it allows you to map out from your iCloud account where your phone is. This is fantastic if it is ever lost or stolen. When my iPhone was stolen in Thailand, I immediately logged onto my computer, onto my iCloud account, and I was able to see on a map where my iPhone was. I literally watched the thief transporting it all over the city, which led to a pretty epic adventure with the Thai police. We eventually got the phone back. In addition to being able to see where it was on this map, I was also able to, from my iCloud account, lock the phone and restrict any access to my information. Lesson number 2. Not taking the time to back up all of your photos on your phone and your other devices before your trip. This is a hard lesson to learn, and too often, as in my case, we learn it when it's too late. Back up all the photos and documents stored on any devices that you plan to take with you on your trip before you leave. Trust me, when I say don't bring more than you need, this applies to information too. Don't bring 3 years worth of photos on your phone with you, especially if that information is not backed up. Hook your phone up to a cloud storage service like Google Photos or iCloud to automatically store a copy to the cloud. Do the same for your computer and your external drives. I did not back up my external hard drive when I was in Bali, and the drive ended up failing on me. I had all of my video footage on it and needed it back. I ended up paying $500 to have the information restored, and then an additional $200 to have it transferred over to a new drive. I now use a service called iDrive. You can also use Google Drive, but I like iDrive because it's cheaper and gives 2 terabytes full of storage for less than $100 a year. Mistake number 3. Relying on the ATM for all of your money needs. It is not smart to assume that you will arrive in the country and then use your debit card to access money from an ATM. Quite often, ATMs are empty, or there's no ATMs in your area, or you've been locked out of your bank account because you're trying to access money from a foreign country. I now travel with a prepaid travel credit card stack. It's free to get and there are no foreign transaction fees. It also comes with an app, so I'm notified whenever a purchase is made with the card, and I can also freeze it from the app at any time. Another suggestion is to get foreign currency for the country that you're traveling to before you leave for your trip. Your bank may or may not be able to do this. Also, some countries have closed currencies, like Sri Lanka, which means it's only when you arrive that you're actually able to get Sri Lankan rupees. In the case that you can't get foreign currency in advance, at least go to your bank and get some US dollars. US dollars are accepted pretty much everywhere in the world, so if you have this, at least when you arrive at the airport, you can go to a foreign currency exchange desk and exchange the US dollars for the local currency. Mistake number 4. Eating too much of the same local food over and over again, especially if it's something that you're not used to. I never really ate pumpkin before I went to Thailand and Vietnam, but while I was there, I fell in love with steamed pumpkin. It's sold on the streets in little wedges for about 20 cents. It's absolutely delicious, and it's the perfect starchy carb substitute for white rice, which you're absolutely sick of one week into being in Asia, trust me. It's nutrient dense, it's filling, and it goes great with any meals and also for dessert with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. So good. However, along with all these nutrients in it, it contains one called carotenoid. Not sure how to say it. But it's essentially what gives it the orange pigmentation, so for carrots, sweet potato, pumpkin. And the thing is that if you eat too much of it, and depending on how susceptible you are and how pale you are, your skin can end up picking up an orange tone. It's harmless, but it's kind of embarrassing, and it's absolutely what happened to me. I ended up having orange kind of down my face here, and I still have it on my palms, even though I have not had a single orange vegetable in months. My case may be embarrassing, but it's also harmless, which is not always the case. I had a friend that was spending several months in the Philippines where many of the dishes are made with lots of vinegar. He was eating these dishes every day and ended up hospitalized with severe stomach ulcers. Another friend of mine ended up developing blood pressure issues due to the sodium content of the dishes they were eating in Thailand. Definitely try the local food, but be careful if you're eating the same local food over and over and over again. I've made dozens, and I will continue to make dozens more travel mistakes, but my final one for this video is trying to do everything on the cheap. If you go and eat the local cheapest food at 5 cents a meal, yes, you're saving money, but you're going to feel terrible. If you book the cheapest hotel, you're not going to get any sleep. Disregard how many stars a hotel or a restaurant is and instead read the client reviews. Even if the hotel is rated 4 stars but it has poor reviews, there's a reason for it. Maybe it's outside of the city center and you'd have to be paying for a grab ride back and forth every time you wanted to do something. Maybe there's bed bugs. Maybe it's on the busiest street and you won't get any sleep. I'm not saying you need to splurge, but your best bet is to find the highest user-reviewed hotels and restaurants at the best price. You want to find a steady balance in between there, or like I said, you will be paying for it down the road in other ways. These are things that you maybe wouldn't think about that can seriously impact your trip and will be especially applicable if you are planning to travel long term. Next week, I'll tackle another common travel mistake, which is packing too much stuff. More specifically, why you should never check a bag on an international flight even if it's free. So I hope you'll subscribe and join me back here for that one next week. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, happy travels, and I'll see you soon. Bye.